Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Meatsy69, and we are back with a few tanks this time. Usually, I like to do a video of tanks that are in store, but you've got like 5 tanks in store at the minute. So I've decided to make one video with all of them tanks, and if they are actually worth buying or passing on them. But a few of them are quite nice tanks, like this one, Panzer 4S, which is otherwise known as the Star Chaser, and it's for sale for 5,500 gold. And I've actually done a few videos of this tank, and it's been for sale for quite a few times. And this is one of the 5 that I would probably definitely get. 5,500 gold for a tier 6, it is a little bit steep, but it is a very, very nice tank. Very nice tank. So you wouldn't regret spending that gold on this tank. I'm not sure how much I actually paid for this. It was a very long time ago. Pretty much the first time or the second time it was for sale. It's been for sale, I'd guess, about 4 times. Now that SU-100Y there, you do not want to sit in front of that SU-100Y. Now the armour on this tank isn't great, but you can get some bounces. Angled, you'll get some bounces. Not many, but you will. The gun is very, very nice. The reload is very nice. The speed is very nice. So pretty much everything about this tank is very, very nice. And for me, it is worth having it. It's a fun tank. Pull shots off like this into that T-37, no problem. And I've said 4.4 second reload, so you can clear tanks out very, very quickly. So you can see one tank down each. T-37 there, no, he's going around the other way, but we now have the KV-1S sitting in front of us. We're not going to push the hill because he's gun depression. We're going to use our gun depression and his gun depression for our advantage. So he's not going to be able to get us. But we do need to be careful because there is a few tanks to our right. So we don't want to push up and leave ourselves in the open, just like that T-37. So he's now down near enough to a one-shot. And now we can start pushing. The Cromwell's up there, the KV-1S has pushed down, the BDR is up there, so we get a side shot onto the BDR. So you got there 138, that was a low roll, 172 the roll before. Didn't quite see what that one was. But you can get very nice damage in this, and you can get it very, very quickly. And that is why I love these tanks. I love the tanks with the short reload. Because you can, it's just fun. It really is fun. Now, with the 5 tanks that are for sale, out of the 5, I would probably choose this one because it's most fun. And I wouldn't say it's OP, but in tier 6 against tier 5s, it is a nice tank, and it's one of the tanks that, for me, is a must-have. It's a must-have. We're taking out that KV-1S there by circling him, no problem at all. The Leopard now, last one, he's going to roll past us. He is not going to be able to circle us. We're going to get one more shot into him, and then our KV-1S takes him out. So not a great battle, but not a bad battle. And for that battle, we did just over 2,000 damage, 2,200, and we make 47,000 credits. It could be better for the credits. I thought that wasn't too great for the credits, but it is a nice tank. So moving on to the next one, it is the IS2 Berlin, and it's for sale for a whopping 8,000 gold. 8,000 gold. That is a lot of gold for this tank. Now this I don't really like. It wasn't so bad back in the day. It has actually had a few buffs, but I probably wouldn't recommend this tank. Now, it has got the 122mm gun, but there is now an IS2 in the tech tree. And it's near enough exactly the same. It's the same as an IS as well. But there is an IS2 in the tech tree, in the Chinese tech tree, and you get shots like that. Look at that. Accuracy on this thing is not the best. But yeah, so you have the IS2 in the tech tree, the Chinese. But that is, you can choose what cannon you have. So you can either have this 122mm, or you can just go with the 100mm, which is much, much better. Where with this tank, you haven't got a choice. You're stuck with the 122mm, and you have to live with it. So, for 8,000 gold, that's a lot of gold for a tank like this. You can see there, another bounce. So, with 8,000 gold, you can get yourself any tech tree premium there is. Any. You can get yourself an IS6, a T34. Now, what would you rather have? An IS2 or a T34? I'm sure I'd go with the T34. The T34 is a great tank. So, considering this costs much more than the T34, well, I wouldn't say much more, but it's a little bit more than the T34. And the T34 is a tier 8. So this is one of the tanks that I probably wouldn't recommend getting, because there's just too many tanks that are similar, as I've said, especially that tech tree IS2 itself, where you can choose what gun you want. And of course the infamous IS in tier 7, which is near enough the same, exactly the same tank. So I wouldn't recommend buying this tank. I really wouldn't recommend spending that much gold on this tank, because it's just not worth it. And you can see there, we did block 1,500 damage, and we only got 2,000 damage for ourselves. 36,000 credits, not so bad. It's quite low damage. So yeah, that is the IS2 Berlin. Wouldn't recommend it at all. Next up, we have the VK4503, and this is for sale for 7,500 gold. It is a heavy, it is a German heavy, and it's a tier 7. Now, this I do like. I've had this since it first was released with the Panzer 8.8. I'm not sure how long ago, but the day these two come out, I bought them, and I didn't really like this tank. I'm not sure actually what's going on with my game. I think it's lagging at the minute. It wasn't lagging in game, so maybe it's the recording. I'm not 100%. But this VK, 7,500 gold, again, it is a little bit too steep for a tier 7 tank, but it is a very, very nice tank, and I do actually really like this tank. The gun on it is amazing. The armor isn't so amazing. You can pull off some clutch bounces, some clutch shots, and get some bounces, but you're not going to bounce too often. Even though it's a heavy, your armor is just not there, but the gun is, and it's got 5.3 second reload. So for a heavy, that's not bad for a heavy. And you can see the IS here, 198 damage. That is a low roll, so it doesn't have the best damage, 215 there, but the reload is very, very good, and we can clear tanks up very quickly with the quick reload. So the IS shoots me there, and then we take him out for our first kill. And already there is only 3 tanks left against 4. We've done 2,000 damage, and there is an IS2. We do not want to get shot by the IS2, because we will definitely be a one shot, even if he's using the 100mm. Maybe 2 high rolls, but now we're going to push forward because it is only 2 tanks left. We get one more shot into him. We're going to wait, see if he shoots. There he goes. He shoots the tank next to me. So now we can pretty much push up. We get a nice shot into the side of his tank there. And now even if he shoots us, that was a nice clutch shot into him. And it just leaves him now on a one shot. So I can push up very slowly. You can see him looking at me, but it didn't matter. We take him out for our second kill. And we've got just over 3k damage. So it didn't feel like a 3k damage game. So this is another tank I'd probably recommend. Not everyone is going to like it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. But after playing it for a few battles, trying to get footage for this, I actually like the tank. It's very, very nice. 3,300 damage there. In for the ram. Ram killed, 3 kills. So not a bad battle. Not a bad battle at all. So that is another tank that I would recommend buying. 7,500 gold. Yes, it's a bit steep. But if you're thinking about buying the IS2, then ignore the IS2 and just get this. 69,000 credits there, which is a little bit better on the credit making. But we did get more damage. So not too bad for the VK there, and another tank that I would recommend. So moving on to the next tank. Now this is stupid. T-44-100, 9,500 gold. Yes, you read that correct. 9,500 gold. Are you actually kidding me? Now this tank is meh. It really, I don't think it's a good tank, but I also don't think it's a bad tank. Now up against tier 8 tank destroyers like the IS2, the Borziks and the tier 9 tank destroyers, the Waffle, etc., you're going to get yourself ammo racked. The ammo rack on the ammo rack on this field, whenever I've come in front of a Borzik and the Borzik shot me, I think I've been ammo racked. The T-49 even ammo racks you very, very easy. I'm still confused. 9,500 gold. Now, put it in perspective how expensive this tank is. So it's a tier 8 medium, 9,500 gold. Who would pay 9,500 gold for a tank that I paid 0 for? It was an event tank. You could win the tank, and I won the tank, and I got it for absolutely nothing. Why would someone then go and pay 9,500 gold? For me, this tank should be the cheapest. This should be cheaper than all the other tanks in the store, because it was a free tank. It was a free tank. It's not the best tank, but for 9,500 gold, you'd be stupid if you paid that for this tank. You really would be stupid. The penetration sucks on this thing. The armor sucks on this thing. The speed is okay. But look, you have to shoot these tanks, these heavies. You have to use APCR. Even on the bottom plate, you're going to struggle. Pen him. Now, we do take a nice shot into that IS-5, putting him down to a 1 shot. And he's going to pretty much die very quickly as soon as he comes around that corner, and we get him gone. Now, we're focusing on that Leopard. But, watch him. There we go. Good job, T-30. And he is deleted. So now there is only 2 tanks left, which is this SU-100 and there is a CDC that is shooting me from distance, so we do need to back up. He's going to shoot me again, and now we're pretty much a 1 shot, so we need to back up all the way, and which means we're not going to get any more damage into that SU, that is what I was hoping for. I was hoping for a little bit more damage. It is 4 against 2, so we should have this battle very easy. But the CDC is now spotted. He's going to try to run away, and we're going to get 1 more shot into him, our final shot, and he's going to get 1 back, and he's going to leave me on 11 HP, and that is pretty much all we're going to do this battle. So 2,600 damage, still not a bad battle, but please don't get this tank, because it's just 9,500 gold. I've said it, I don't know how many times I've said that this video. It really, really is not worth that money, especially for as it was free. For most people that have got this tank, it was free, and if they didn't manage to complete the event, they probably only paid 1,000 or 2,000 gold. Now, ignore the credits there, because it was the tank's birthday, times 5 on everything, 146,000 credits, and that is the T-44. Next up is the experimental M6 experimental. Now this is for sale for 12,000 gold or 14,000 gold. Now the 14,000 gold is fully equipped. So that's an extra 2,000 gold. Do you want to pay 2,000 gold extra for something that you can just buy with credits? Now, so if you are going to get this tank, I'd recommend the 12,000 and then just complete the rest with the credits. Some people must have enough credits to equip a tier 8 tank. It definitely isn't worth the 2,000 extra gold. Is it worth the 12,000 gold in the first place? Probably not, no. It probably isn't worth the 12,000 gold, but it is a nice tank. It's very, very troll. The front armor on this thing is amazing. The turret armor is amazing, and you're going to pretty much bounce everything that is in front of you. But your side armor and your rear armor is very, very poor. Very poor. So you do want to make sure, if you do get this tank, you want to make sure that you're facing the enemy at all times. Because this Tiger, bless him, he's not having a good time up there. I'm not sure why he is there in the first place. He probably cost them the battle. He sat at the back in a TD spot. So, and he's not doing very well. We've already bounced 1,800 damage. We've only got 1,200 damage ourselves. But we're in a position now where we've got the rock in front of us. And we are hiding our hull, which is still strong anyway. And the only thing he has got to shoot at is our turret. And there's not that many weak spots on the turret. You have to shoot APCR. And even then, when you're wiggling the turret, it is very hard to penetrate. So 2,100 damage now we have blocked. 1,500 damage we have done. Tiger makes the mistake at backing up, and we get him gone, leaving just this SU-152. And he's just shot, so that means I can poke forward, but I think I'm only going to get one shot into him before he gets deleted. We get one shot there, 300, nearly 400 damage, and we don't get any more. So we do finish that battle pretty much similar. So we pretty much got the same damage as we have block damage. And again, so this tank is actually, I do like this tank, but for the price, if you want to get it, you're not going to be disappointed. So that is it, guys. That is all the tanks in store at the moment. Take your pick. I'd recommend a couple of them. But for now, I'm Easy69, and I'll see you soon.